Are the Seller Central forums worth visiting? We know how much we hate seller support, but maybe everybody else is in there helping each other. My name is Stephen Pope, and I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. We're going to dive in and take a look at some of these threads. How is everybody handling selling on Amazon? Product listing brand being changed without notice and can't change it back. We pop into that thread. Can anyone help me? One of my ASIN's brands being changed without notice. No matter what I do, Amazon won't change it back. Well, I'm going to give some advice as I see some of these situations, kind of like our AMA format where you can come in and ask me any Amazon question. So what I would do with this situation, Mr. Happy Uber 7, is file a template file backup of your entire catalog. This is a CLR backup, category listings report. Then make sure the UPC is loaded to the GTIN field and load that template. File a brand registry ticket following that to get the title or whatever else is having a challenge, and then call in to say, hey, I'm the brand owner. I've got the UPC right here. It's in check. I've got my brand registered. That's in check too. Help me out. Look at this flat file. It's not reflecting the seller contribution, and go from there. So that's the first one down. Is seller support incompetent or apathy? Customer contacted seller support, wrote the following: please send me a return label so I can get a full refund upon returning this product. Thank you kindly. Seller support response: open an A to Z claim. Are they so poorly trained that they're unaware of the Amazon prepaid return labels, or are they so lazy? Just click A to Z rather than take time to explain, actually copy and paste how a return works. Well, in my opinion, there is no such thing as a bad team. There is only such a thing as bad leaders or leadership. And in the case of seller support, and I've made a lot of jokes about how I would fix seller support. I would fire everybody and I'd replace it with basically Mag AI, and I would go in and say, only 100 characters. You can only do a tweet, essentially, to respond. Instead of this fluffy garbage nonsense, you have to answer the question, and that's it. I need help with X. That's your ticket. Response from seller support should be, here is the answer. I've done it for you. That's it. Simple as that. All right, let's go back to the global ones here and see what else is cracking. So, hello, everyone. Haven't made a post in a while. Just want to give you an update. That one sounds like a life story. We'll skip that one. Amazon listing automatic adjustments. Let's check this one out from JR Varsity. Why does Amazon or an unknown, unseen algorithm have permission to automatically adjust the listing browse nodes, product category classifier, but the brand owner does not? Great question. They've basically automated this based on how consumers are finding the product. So if we look at one of my products here, Amazon.com/Age of Sage, if somebody was trying to buy my soap, and we look at, let's scroll down and see if we can find the subcategory here, bath soaps. So this product could be in a lot of different soapy categories for sure. And if somebody was coming in and looking around, they might have found the item from a subcategory that's different than bath soaps. It could have been, I don't even know what other soap categories there are, to be honest. But if they find it from the drop down enough, you can actually manually teach the algorithm what's better for the item. By the way, if you want to file a case to switch one of those categories, all you got to do is come into brand registry, click on the support button right here, contact brand support. And in here, you can go to listing issue, change a product's category, fill in the ASIN, and after you hit that continue button, basically just tell them which category you want to be in and why, and offer any proof. You'll very well have to do an escalation manual ticket after they auto reject it, and then go from there. Amazon says they have updated the seller forms with improved search, easier navigation, and personalized content. We'll go check out, see how everything is going on right now. IQ Phoenix asks, why the hell am I getting deactivation threats for Informed Consumer Act when I have had everything verified for weeks now? You're definitely not alone on this one. We've seen this quite a bit. Quite frankly, their system is entirely glitchy, and there's nothing to worry about until there is. I say that because no one really knows if there is anything to worry about, but I personally have yet to see an account suspended just the clarifying threats or messages at the top of the account is all I've seen so far. So no worries there until there is something to worry about. Inventory in quarantine. Earlier this year, I had multiple false IP infringement claims made against my products. Funny thing is, I'm brand registered, trademarked. My wife developed the products. We make them at our house. All right, I've had this exact same experience just a couple months ago on my own account, and they were quarantining and saying basically they were going to destroy the inventory. What we ended up doing is we took cell phone pictures of the items and then wrote invoices to ourselves and escalated non-stop. And eventually, it took weeks. I couldn't believe this. It took weeks for them to release the inventory back to us and allow us to get it back. Some breaking news on UPS and the union making an agreement, so there's not going to be a strike. Tell that to the guy who keeps leaving UPS packages at my gate and won't drive them up my driveway. I kind of think the UPS members are still a little put out. But that is good news because that would have drastically affected all of us Amazon sellers if UPS did go actually on strike. Ooh, this one might be good. Fake reviews by a competitor. A competitor whose team leaves fake bad reviews. Their unverified purchases always name my competitor's product in their comments. That's a dead giveaway. I bet these guys are Chinese. Amazon has removed some of these as abusive, but they continue to post them. New one just appeared 2 days ago. Competitor is engaged in online bullying of me and my platforms as well, TikTok and Instagram. I don't understand why this is allowed to continue on Amazon when it's clear what's going on. This is a great post and thread. I have seen this personally. I've had it happen to me. I'm very public with all of the brands that I sell on the platform, and so I get a few haters here and there who go in and attack me. But generally speaking, I just use it for content and shoot videos on it, so it doesn't personally affect me. But I feel for the Amazon sellers who like this affects their livelihood. I wish I had good advice on this particular topic, but unfortunately, this is just an awareness on this one because we need to be aware that this does happen and then help people like this by going into the seller forums and saying this is ridiculous and hitting that upvote button so that others can see it, because this absolutely happens in mass. And if we get enough transparency, there might end up being a forced reply or forced reaction by Seller Central's leadership. Negative feedback for an item we did not sell to a customer. 1-star seller feedback for a product we do not even carry, do not even sell. Unfortunately, it sounds like this person did the feedback removal button and then got rejected. And then you only get one chance to escalate the seller feedback removal. So you got to basically prove it's not your item. However, every time I've seen this happen, they just reject that as well. So I don't have a high hope on this solution, but basically what I would do is just escalate the heck out of that ticket. Even when they say you can't escalate this anymore, escalate it again and die on that hill. A lot of work, but a VA task worthy of dying on, because it's wrong. It's wrong for, like the issues that we're seeing in the seller forums are all systematic problems with why and what is wrong with selling on Amazon. And something needs to be done about this. Amazon is at it again. Your account is risk of deactivation. They want me to verify my address. I've done this millions of times. And then they get delayed selling the postcard. We're seeing a lot of posts about this, pretty much kind of a wait and see situation. This seller talks about the frog story where a frog stays in boiling water. Well, maybe you don't know this, but that's actually not even a real analogy. The frog would jump out. But it's still analogous in a way that that's what sellers feel like. They feel like they're being slowly boiled, and they're like, when do I jump? When do I jump out? The good news is that all these challenges are overcomable. Some of them need awareness. Others require escalation or some experts to come in. Job security for me at my Amazon guy. But don't give up. I've got 400 different brands we work with. All of them are succeeding. They just have to put the resources in. Being billed a second time for returns 2 or 3 months ago. I wouldn't know how to handle that one. Shipping adjustments. Please help me. Amazon is going to destroy tens of thousands of dollars. That's exactly what we talked about in that other thread. Article 3 on the Please Help Me. Kind of looking for the next good one. Amazon brand change by other sellers complained of trademark. So they changed his brand and then filed the trademark infringement against him. Nice. And we know that's a that's a Chinese brand name right there. Kamakui or something. Uh, so I've encountered a more serious problem. Oh, well, it looks like, hey, this person might have posted in the seller threads and got some help. He's got a kind of an update header here. Amazon staff contacted me and resolved the issue. Hey, that's great. Wish seller support could do that. Oh, man. However, I encountered a more serious problem. My other products have also been modified to this brand. Believe it's the same person, modified the brand of the product. So make sure you've got your trademark in place. Make sure your product images show your brand logo. I'll pull up one of my items. So like my Sage Sticks, we actually on our box, so like the soaps, you can see the logo right there. But what we also did is on our Sage Sticks, we put the name Age of Sage on the box and we threw it into the main photo. That really helped prevent hijackers from coming onto the listing or unauthorized resellers. Definitely glad I did that. Haven't seen the issue as much anymore. All right, let's go back to this. Oh, they even put their trademark number and complaint numbers and all that good stuff. They are filing reports against them for the trademark infringement after they changed their listings. Oh my goodness gracious, that's ridiculous. All right, I'm going to reply to this thread, see if I can help them out. I scrolled down to the comments section after I wrote some of my own comments and saw that looks like Dougal over at Amazon helped him out, gave him a response here. That's a great thing. Glad to see Amazon stepping in and helping out. So if you got a really serious problem, you might want to try the seller forms. Unfair lost item without compensation. I shipped 1,900 units to a specific location, SDF8. Lost 740 items to the warehouse. Provided the pod and packing list. Amazon seller support said they cannot find it and do not give us any compensation. So this is why I created a service called My Refund Guy. If you haven't tried that out, first $500 are on me, just to prove to you it works. We charge a commission on the money we get back out of Amazon, lost and damaged units, lost inbound shipments. This is exactly the situation we built it for. You have to file tickets to escalate this. Sometimes it takes several tickets to do that. And here you can see Amazon is replying in the comments to some of these issues. Reconciliation tool, and you have to sometimes go back and forth with Amazon a few times. But I do think of all of the tickets or seller posts we've seen so far, this is the easiest one to win on. Can't say I've seen this one before, an out of stock item showing up for sale, and he claims he had nothing written in stock. But the one thing I would say is make sure you check those third-party apps. There's sometimes connections where they're supplying a single units. That would be my best guess on this one. Looks like I wasn't the only one that thought this. Here's another one of the same issue. Someone changed my brand. I cannot make any changes to my listing. How many times is this going to happen before Amazon, like, stops letting the Chinese change things to TYMXGHF? Holy crap, Amazon. It is a dumpster fire with the Chinese hijacking. Can we just ban all Chinese sellers, please? Amazon, what are you doing about listing hijackings? This is the fourth one we've seen. And we're not even hunting for these things. They're just all over the place. So that is a huge issue right now. Cannot believe how many times we're seeing this today. Make sure your brand is registered and all of those UPCs are loaded. That is your best defense against this. Can we stop screwing around with adult flags on products? And I have seen this happen a few times myself. We were selling some rope and somebody left a customer review about how they used that rope and posted a picture of it. And it was a very interesting pose. Got the product marked adult and then it stopped selling because the ads got banned. So we had to ticket and get the adult flag removed. That is not a manual thing. It is happening automatically and you do have to file some tickets to get that to release. Burning River Buys says FBA removal fees have increased 70% since January, excuse me. If anyone look closely at your removal fees, they've raised their removal fees 3x more than the standard FedEx or UPS rates. Fees are twice as much as the product itself. Why are they doing this? This is Amazon's answer. Fuel prices and inflationary costs have increased since January 2023. Really? Has anyone watched the news? These costs have decreased. As an alternative, they're offering liquidation options. Oof, that's expensive. Got to check those removal fees. I actually was not paying attention to this issue before. I'm going to have to look into this one. Amazon commenting on this, have you verified the measurements and shipping weights of your item? That's actually a good tip. I got to say, Taylor is correct on this one. Check that one out. What often can happen is when you file a shipment into Amazon, you list the case size as the product size. Number one noob mistake I always see, and it's because the warehouse guy can't read it. I mean, it's quite frankly confusing in the logistics side of things. 1-star feedback because buyer is an idiot. Sigh. I just got a 1-star feedback because a buyer bought a piece of a Schedule 40 PVC pipe. The reason they left a 1-star, get this, they thought because it said it's an item is a Schedule 40 pipe, it will be getting 40 pieces. You can't just make this stuff up. You got to have a place to vent somewhere, but you're going to have to update your listing and make it better. Just Paper Roses says, I'd never call a buyer an idiot if you have to deal with enough customers sooner or later. You got to update the listing and make it so it's obvious. This one might be on you, but I also understand where this guy's coming from. Another guy having issues with FC transfer items getting lost. Amazon doesn't process it for me. He's got some screenshots in here showing everything too. That's pretty cool. Let's see what he has to say. So shipments showed investigation complete. Contents counted and confirmed. I couldn't submit documents directly at the shipment to open an investigation and compensation. So I had to go to the help page, open a case for customer service to investigate. However, after almost 2 months, without any substantial progress, during which time I opened a case to consult many times. Each time, the final response is they did not receive the missing 10 items. If I submitted 16 boxes tracking for the 160 signed receipt, pack them in one box of 10. So last week, they replied to me the last time they did not receive the missing 10 items. I attached a picture of the record of shipment receipts. Regarding the record, the shipment was received from 17th of April. All 160 items of the shipment were received at the particular warehouse, and then 10 were transferred to a different warehouse. So this is a really interesting use case. I actually have never seen FC transfer losses cause an issue like this. This is another issue where I'd use my refund guy and file the tickets to fight this, but that is an incredibly interesting scenario. Has anybody ever lost FC transfer issues? I'm now going to go look on my own account and see if I have lost any FC transfer. That's really interesting. Bought a $1,700 machine, used it for a job, then returned as defective. FBM, just as the title suggests, the user purchased a $1,700 machine, used it for a job, then returned it as defective. Doesn't work. Amazon provided a prepaid label. User shipped it back and clearly heavily used. Our tech department just finished inspecting the machine and found it to be in working order, but very used. What's my recourse? Survey says charge a restocking fee. So you can see here several people pointing out to the up to 50% restocking fee. Even more, there is an other option, gives an actual link to the guide on restocking fees. That's pretty cool. I knew you could file cases or restocking fees, but that's going to be a $1,700 restocking fee, 50%. Yikes. Product stuck in FC processing for 30 days. I've seen this many, many times. Sometimes it takes even longer. You do have to file tickets to ask them to release it out of FC transfer. The longest I've ever seen this take was 6 freaking months. And they did find the units in that particular instance. No bueno, no fun on that one. Don't recommend getting your stuff stuck at FC transfer. Unfortunately, not a whole lot you can do. The warehouses sometimes just stock up units outside in a pod somewhere. Here's a good one. Brand registry application denied 6 times for abusive conduct. So without even reading the description here, I've seen this like 50 times. And almost every single time, it's because the email address is associated with a suspended account. So even Canada or the United Kingdom can cause these issues. So if you have a suspended Canada account or an EU account that's suspended, you got to get those reinstated. Otherwise, you're tough out of luck. Brand registry application, never going to go through, unfortunately. Amazon gave their own response here. Dougal says, this is two scenarios he's seen. Engage in abusive conduct. By the way, that's never the case. And trademark or brand is abusive. I have seen this end up being the case, but it's almost always like a Canadian suspension or UK issue from my experience. Rod Baker had an ASIN sold to a customer from another seller with their business information. Sometimes that happens. Gotta love hijackers. Rainy photos showing on Amazon, but normal everywhere else. Probably did not upload at least a 2000 pixel image would be my best guess. There are some image guidelines you may want to check out. We do have a guide. If you just type in image guide, my Amazon guy, you can see my full best practice series right there. We also just did a masterclass on design with all of the image information you could possibly want. You'll want to watch that video next. Another hijacker changed my brand name. Oh, automatic modification of listings by Amazon. Buyer getting full refund repeatedly. Item is not returnable. Unfair A to Z claim. Brand name changed in title by Amazon. They won't fix it. Is that like the 7th time we've seen that? Gotta love how you don't have control of your own listings on Amazon. Buyer demanding a return with a refund, rather, without returning the item. I like the comment solution here. Best way to deal with this, create a return label through whatever carrier you normally use and send it to the customer. This way, if they start an A to Z claim, you can tell Amazon you provided the customer with a prepaid return label. Perfect answer. Can't add anything to it. Amazon incompetence listings. Have we heard that word used today? Your listing is in violation of this policy. I have reviewed the policy and listing and see no violations. Please elaborate. And then it goes back and forth several times with the same thing. No further replies will be accepted. Amazon Blend says, thanks for reaching out with your difficulties for your products being pulled for being in violation of policies. In general, enforcement teams are not able to provide explicit explanation for why a product falls under a violation due to the internal nature of these investigations. That's bull hockey. Come on, give me a break on that one. Come on, Amazon. If you're telling me I'm in violation, you got to tell me why. That's ridiculous. You can't just say you're in violation. We're taking you down. That's what not good. Feedback with the F word, requesting moderator help. My most recent seller feedback contains the F word clearly against the Amazon policy. Asked for the feedback to remove, but another person answering the case must have had some metrics to hit, and it was not removed. Oh, man. All right. Let's see what Amazon did. Providing a summary of the issue came up with your post. I'm working on having this case escalated for you. Reach out with any updates I receive. Well, that's nice. Let's see if anybody did. See the message from our escalation team. So, hey, you're seeing Amazon come in and help on the forums. How about that, folks? How about that? So if you've got an issue you've got to deal with right now that you've had just no luck solving, you may want to try the seller forums and tag a moderator or two that got some extra escalation help. My name is Stephen Pope. I'm the founder of My Amazon Guy. In the next video, you seriously got to watch my design masterclass. You got it. It's so amazing. I go 45 minutes deep. Everything I know about design, image stacks, and more. Watch that next.